Hello everyone, this is Ben Finkel. Welcome to this Nugget introduction to 70-346. 70-346 is Microsoft's exam number for Office 365 Managing Identities and Requirements. In this Nugget, we want to take a little bit of time to understand exactly what Office 365 is, and then walk through the 70-346 objectives and goals so that we know what it is we plan to be learning throughout this course. First of all, let's make sure that we understand what we're talking about when we talk about Office 365. I'm sure you've heard of the cloud at this point, and Office 365 represents Microsoft's move of their Office product suite into the cloud. The cloud, of course, being a publicly accessible cloud over the internet, so ostensibly anyone with an internet connection and a credit card can take advantage of the offering in the cloud. The prime offering that you're going to see from Office 365 is Office Online. This is probably what you think about when you think about Office 365. And that's because a whole bunch of their different Office products that you're used to using, Word, Access, Excel, are available in your browser online for you to access from anywhere. That's what the cloud means, right? So you can access Office Online from your desktop or your laptop or at home from your home computer or on your tablet or on your smartphone. Wherever you are and whatever device you're using, you can get access to these Office Online products. But Office 365 offers more than just that. To begin with, users can be licensed to download this software to their desktop instead of using the online version. On both Windows and Macintosh, users can download these products and install them on up to 5 different devices. That licensing is managed through Office 365, so as an administrator, you can grant and revoke access to those licenses as you need, and the users, when they need a more powerful, more traditional version of the application, they can just log onto the website, download and install it. Because these products integrate seamlessly with one another and share a document format and integrate with another Office 365 product called OneDrive, you can actually share documents between them without any additional work. So you might start a document on your work desktop in, say, Microsoft Word, and then later you want to access it while you're on the train from your cell phone, you can do that. And then when you get home, you're going to open up your laptop at home and continue working on that same document without having to move or shuffle documents around. You don't have to carry a thumb drive with you or, email the document to yourself. We all remember those days, right? None of that is necessary because everything happens seamlessly inside of the Office cloud. Now, if you think that Microsoft Office products are all that Office 365 is, well, that's understandable, but there's actually a lot more to it. I mentioned OneDrive a moment ago, which is just a drive or a file sharing mechanism inside of the cloud so that you can save files to the cloud and retrieve them easily from any device. But Microsoft Office 365 also offers SharePoint Online. This allows you to roll out a powerful and flexible SharePoint implementation without having to go through the complication of spinning up and hosting your own SharePoint servers. SharePoint is a famously powerful but also famously complex software product. Well, SharePoint Online assures that you don't have to worry about that complexity. You can just start spinning up SharePoint sites and sharing documents and content in SharePoint through Office 365. Microsoft Exchange Online is another complicated product, or famously complicated product, that's made easy by moving into Office 365. With Exchange Online, you no longer have to host your own email servers. You can have a private email server running in the cloud for your emails, and people can access those emails with a traditional desktop-based Outlook, which they might be used to using, as well as Outlook Online through the Office Online web browser. Skype for Business, which used to be known as Link, is another really great application that you can license and enable users to use through Office 365. Skype for Business is video conferencing software that allows users to communicate with one another through video and audio conferencing on, again, any device that they want to use, whether that's their tablet or their cell phone or their desktop or laptop. So when we talk about Office 365, it's important to remember all of these technologies because they all come into play and they are all part of the Office 365 suite of products. Now, Office 365, if you can't tell, is huge, and it's really too big to cover it all in one course. But thankfully, this course is not designed to cover all of Office 365. We're here addressing specifically exam 70-346, which is Managing Office 365 Identities and Requirements. 346 is the first in a 2-part exam series, 346 and 347, that allows you to get your MCSA, your Microsoft Certified Solutions Associate, for Office 365. In exam 70-346, this first one here is all about setting up identities and managing identities inside of Microsoft Office 365. This means that we are going to touch on a lot of different products within the Office 365 suite. So yes, we are going to look at SharePoint Online, Skype for Business, and Exchange. We're also going to talk about something called Azure Active Directory. If you're familiar at all with Active Directory, you know that Active Directory is an old product from Microsoft. Well, old, I say, but a traditional product from Microsoft where you use to store your users on the network. Well, inside of Office 365, you're going to store the users in Office 365 in something called Azure Active Directory. And the majority of the time is going to be spent right here inside of the admin console for Office 365. That's what we are going to do. That's how we are going to spend our time in this course. That can be found at http://portal.office.com. That's how you're going to log into the Office admin site. In fact, whenever possible, I'm going to spend my screen sharing time here inside of that application, inside of that admin console. So I highly encourage you to start up your own Office 365 tenancy. And our very next nugget, we're going to talk about exactly how you do that, and follow along with every nugget in this course step by step so that you understand what we're doing and how it can be done. It should be easy to follow along. Just have it open in a separate web browser, a separate window alongside this video. And you can pause the video whenever you want, log into the Office 365 admin application, and replicate the processes that I'm going through. Just to finish up, we'll take a look at a brick of text here. The Office 365 Managing Identities and Requirements course outline. We're going to cover a lot of different topics, but they all center around one thing, and that is identities. These are the user accounts that are going to be stored and managed inside of Office 365. And you have to do this for a couple of different reasons. You got to ensure that you know who has licenses for what. So some users may have licenses to download Office Pro Plus, download the Office applications to their desktop, while other users only have access to the Office Online in the web browser products. You're also going to have users that have email addresses on Exchange Online, users who can administer SharePoint Online, or just users who can view it, and so on down the line. So managing these identities, managing these user accounts is a big part of what we're going to do inside of this course. And here's the breakdown of the topics that we are going to cover. We're going to provision Office, we're going to deal with networking and security, cloud identities, something called Azure AD Connect. That's a really cool product that will allow you to synchronize an on-premise Active Directory server with Azure Active Directory. We talked about that a moment ago. We'll also talk about how to set up single sign-on. I love single sign-on. It makes things easier for the users and easier for us as administrators to manage. And we'll talk about, of course, how to troubleshoot problems that might come up. No implementation is without its problems. Troubleshooting, monitoring, service checks, these things are all a big part of our day-to-day job. This is all covered in greater depth on Microsoft's page. You can see the URL right here. And go ahead and check that page out and you'll be able to see exactly what objectives Microsoft expects you to understand in order to pass the exam and earn the 70-346 certification. So that concludes this nugget on Introduction to 70-346. Just to recap, Office 365 represents Microsoft's move for their Office products into the cloud. Most visibly, that means the Office Online Product Suite, where applications that you're used to using on your desktop, such as Word or Excel, are now available through a web browser from any device that you want to use. 70-346 itself is all about managing identities and requirements, rolling out and implementing Office 365 at your enterprise organization. I hope this has been informative for you, and I'd like to thank you for viewing.